Todd, what does all of this mean for America's national security?
It's very troubling. I think that, if Ankush's report is right, I think what we have is an example of national security lawyers trying to pick and choose the facts to satisfy a strained legal analysis to get to where their client wants to get, instead of objectively looking at the facts and advising on the correct course of action. And I'm really concerned about the effect this is going to have, especially on the men and women in the U.S. military.
And Ankush, there's also even more troubling news, which is that the administration at some point during the course of carrying out these strikes decided that any survivors needed to be repatriated and not brought back to the U.S., which I think begs the question here, which is that if the administration says that they have evidence to show that the people who they are striking and are surviving are smuggling drugs and are a threat to Americans, then why are they being repatriated?
It appears to be the case that they want to avoid having these people enter the U.S. court system, at which point they would be entitled to all sorts of due process protections, including seeing the evidence against them. So it's a very, very unseemly tactic, I have to say. And it is more evidence, I would say, that even the administration understands the tenuousness of both its factual analysis and its legal analysis. And I share the view of Professor Huntley that my guess is that the fact section is a very tendentious rendering of the facts that is just designed to prop up the narrative that the administration already had. One quick point before I forget, which I think is really, really important. The head of the Office of Legal Counsel right now, which issued this memo, is a 36-year-old who's never worked in the federal government before. His principal qualification appears to be that he worked on the 2020 effort by Donald Trump to overturn the election by helping to propagate false claims about fraud in Pennsylvania, and at one point telling another Trump administration official that Mike Pence could reject slates of electors. So I do not think this person is in this job because of his legal acumen or his brilliance. I think he's in this job because he's yet another person who's prepared to tell Donald Trump whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's yet another empty suit in a very important job. I want to pick up, Professor, on an aspect of this that, Ankush wrote an incredibly strong piece, and highly recommend folks check out his walking through the analysis and the comparative nature of events coming off of the government's, effort to try to, sugarcoat torture and bad acts. And similarly,